Hello to everyone that has clicked on this video. My name is Janice Iche and I am an artist from and based in the coast of Kenya, and I'm starting a YouTube channel. This is my first video, so go right ahead and subscribe so you can join me on this wonderful journey. So the title says I'm overcoming my fears and starting a YouTube channel. I had written down a whole list of those fears, but I realized along the way that I can basically sum them up to my fear of my own potential. Besides that, I also want to talk about particularly the fear of money that I have had. So let's dive right into those fears. By the way, I really hope my wig looks okay. Yeah, I'm gonna start with the fear of my own potential. Oh my goodness. Trauma really stole everything I was from me. I had to go steal it back. I was like, who? What? Where? Well, not me anymore, you know? Whew. But the first fear that really took a hold of me was the fear of dreaming, my fear of dreaming and of wanting good things for myself. I used to be a dreamer. I used to dream recklessly and fearlessly. Okay, a bit of context because this is my first YouTube video and I really want to be intentional about building a community of people who have overcome or who are trying to overcome the pain and the heaviness of life, and who are really trying to step into their higher selves, really trying to just be the best version of themselves, because that's the journey I'm on right now. That's what I'm really on right now. I feel like it's time for me to step into my higher purpose. And that's what I'm doing here, by the way. So, for brief context, I am a survivor of sexual abuse in the creative industry. By creative, I mean the music industry and the art industry, which are the industries I am a part of. So, I am a survivor of sexual abuse in those spaces. And this is me trying to thrive in that space still after being through what is the worst to me. So that's my context, okay? And if there's anyone I'm here for, it's for survivors. It's for survivors, especially those who feel like they are alone. You know, I was going to get into this later, but I realized that I have certain privileges and advantages that I should be taking more advantage of, basically. And it also has come from the place of having people around me needing me to be the helping hand in their life, and me not being able to be that person. When I clearly have certain privileges that could allow me to be that person, you know, that they don't have. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to step into my higher self so I can be everything I need for myself, and also so I can help the people around me. People need help. Let's stop pretending like everything in this life and everything in this world is just happiness and bliss. It's not. Reality is a lot of other people just like you and me. Anyway, I'm not trying to talk and be like, I'm not anybody's savior. Even I need saving sometimes. But I think if there's one thing I've noticed is I can be an inspiration to some people. And I've gotten that feedback a lot in my life. So let's start a YouTube channel and continue inspiring, you know, if I can overcome something. Because even me, the way I'm overcoming things is by saying, if those girlies can do it, so can I. If those girlies on YouTube can make money, so can I. So here I am. So let's get back to the topic at hand. Yeah, so my fear of my own potential, the trauma really robbed me of a lot of my self. You know, the things that used to make me me. I used to be a huge dreamer. I used to be fearless. Oh my God, I was a bit too fearless though, because to me, that's how I managed to rack up all the the trauma that I have. My heart was too open. Now I have boundaries, but that's other conversations. So yeah, being a survivor of sexual abuse in the creative industry, that stuff really changed my life. It changed my life, like for the worse, for the worse. So since then, it's been a steady journey of just trying to get myself back and build myself back and build myself up even bigger, because that that trauma, it took everything away from me. You know, this is not the first time I'm actually trying to start a YouTube video. I did try to start one in 2020 when I was in the thick of it. In the thick of it. But someone actually discouraged me, because I started and I was posting videos about what I was going through at the time, which was that whole story. But someone actually discouraged me from doing that and told me not to share that much. And yeah, it wasn't probably the best. And I listened to that person. But now I'm like, okay, so I checked back on those videos. They're still on YouTube, but just private. And I saw that I tried to watch a bit of it, and just now before recording this, and it was so hard. I actually definitely broke down into tears just seeing myself. I needed so much help. Oh, I don't want to think about it. Honestly, you know, I've being in this space of feeling like I'm somewhat healed. I'm still empathetic with the person that I was, because I'm the one who knows all the struggles that I went through. You know what I mean? I'm the one who knows all those struggles. So any reminders of what I was going through, I'm very empathetic. But it's because I'm at a level of detachment from everything that happened in my past. Today, I don't live in that space, you know? So when I do remember it, I'm like, oh shit, that was hard. Like seeing myself in that video was really hard. So I've come from somewhere, you know. When I look around my life right now, I'm like, oh wait, I've grown, I've changed. My life has changed. Things are different, and I'm very grateful for that, and I want to keep growing it. So yeah, that means I had to start on my healing journey from that experience. I had to move back to my parents' house in Mombasa from Nairobi with nothing. I did that, and when I moved with I had really lost myself. So I was on that journey to get myself back and then build myself bigger from that. And yeah, it started with getting psychiatric help, first of all. My mental health was in the shambles. It really was. So I had to admit that and accept that I needed help. And I did that. And honestly, I'm so proud that I did that, because the medication that I got on really helped to give me distance from the experience I was in and give me space to start processing it, you know? I was too in it. Like, I couldn't get out of that stage. The only reason I've been able to, like, getting on medication has given me a sort of different perspective on everything. Like, has given me a higher perspective on everything. Like, I'm looking down at everything, you know? I'm looking down because I'm above it. And that's how it feels. That's how it seems. So that's what medication has done for me. And that enabled me to start working on my debut album. I was like, okay, here I am. I'm going to start producing. I'm going to start DJing. That's what I decided. Because when I had lost myself, when I moved back to my parents' house, I was talking about going to uni to study something else, I was like, I've given up on the music industry. Fuck that shit. I'm not doing that anymore. That thing almost killed me. That industry almost killed me. Why would I go back? Good question, because I'm still making music today and I'm trying to do some good work there, but that's also taking time. Of course, I had decided that I was going to study something else. I was going to do something else, with something different with my life. But with the healing, I started remembering myself. I started singing again. That was the first step. It just came, I hadn't sung in months. After I moved back and after everything, when I was dealing, I was so far away from myself, I couldn't even sing. So when I started singing again, and it just came back to me, like I just started humming and I was like, wait, my voice. And then I was like, wait, I sing. For those who've been through trauma, you understand how you forget, you forget everything. You forget everything that you are, everything that is good in your life. All those things just you forget. So I started remembering by singing. And then I was like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I actually do remember writing in my journal at the time. I wrote, I don't want to do anything else. I'm supposed to be singing. Singing is where I feel like myself. Music, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. I was like, leave this other story. Go back to what you know. That was my first step. So I decided I'm going to be a producer because who fucked me up? Producers. Producers. I was like, let me be a producer. I just wanted to take control over my own music and the sound of my music and all those things I wanted control over that I didn't have before. So I started producing, and then I remembered DJing was something I was always interested in, but I never really spoke much about it. I was just like, you know what? I think I would love DJing. So that was also the best time for me to start. I started DJing. And I remember this time actually on Twitter, some people, the feminists on Twitter, they crowdfunded for me. And the money that they crowdfunded for me, which was about 30,000 Kenyan shillings, 30,000 Kenyan shillings, I used that money to buy my first controller. And I remember posting and being like, hey, I bought my first controller without money and I'm about to start this journey of being a DJ. I taught myself how to DJ on YouTube. Mostly taught myself producing on YouTube too, but Santuri has come through. Simsima. My first thing was Simsima with Coco M. In 2020, there was a little course that we did and that just kicked me off. Like I was starting to get comfortable with the software. No, that took so long. I'm still trying to get comfortable on the software, but I think I'm definitely more comfortable now. Yeah. It's a journey, So I'm just looking back and being like, we've made some steps. So producing my album was the next step after getting my mental health in check. Because your girl was gone, literally gone. For like 6 months. I tell this to people, but I was not present on Earth. On this planet, I was not. I was somewhere in the cosmos because of that much disillusionment. I was in like shock. People don't talk about this enough. And even me, I'm not talking about it enough right now, but we'll talk about it in depth with time as I learn how to make this kind of videos on YouTube, because this is a journey. And thank you for joining me. Just subscribe right now if you haven't. Just reminding you so you don't forget. Yeah, so after producing my album, it was actually a really hard. I mean, as a new producer, I was learning how to produce while working on my album. Literally. The music in my album is the first set of like complete music that I have, besides Majabu ya Musa and Sekumpia. And yeah, self-produced, complete like songs. Actually, I didn't even have any leftovers. I didn't even have any leftover songs because all the songs that got finished got put out. Okay? As someone who was struggling with the heaviness of trauma and like just starting to do the work to heal, I didn't have energy, girl. I didn't have energy to do anything. So I dedicated all the energy that I had to making that album, and it took me a year plus. It took me more than a year because I was doing, of course, I was doing it all on my own. I was doing everything, recording, mixing, mastering. No, not mastering, thank God. I didn't master my album. Anyway, I'm not talking about my album right now. I'm at that point in my life where I am just craving growth. I'm craving improvement and just a better life. And I just feel like if I don't do this for myself right now, I'm really going to let myself down. And I don't want that. I don't want to feel in the future that I let myself down by not doing what I know I needed to do. So that's where I'm at. With my fear of dreaming and wanting good things away from me, it was mostly because trauma made me so scared that anything good I wanted for myself, that trauma that I went through in Nairobi particularly, I came back home so afraid to dream for myself because I was afraid that anything good I wanted, anything good I had, could be taken away from me at any moment. Because that's how it felt, going through what I went through in that city. Going through what I went through there, it made me feel like everything is just so precarious. At any moment, someone could do something to take away everything from me. But I've grown now. I know that what I have is within me. That's my most prized possession, not possessions, but my biggest assets, you know? It's the joy and the beauty and the love that is bubbling within me, you know? I had to remember and realize that I am who I am. Like whether whatever happens, you know? I will always be who I am. I will always be who I am. And how nice is that? To know that I will always have myself. That comfort, and actually I'm just starting to understand that really. I'm really just starting to really take that in, that I am all I will ever need. I know I never used to understand when people would say that online. You know, I just know that starting this YouTube channel is a really good step for me. I don't know exactly how yet, but I just know I was supposed to be on these YouTube streets from years ago. It took me so long, but I'm finally here. Subscribe. Subscribe to this channel, please, as we continue. To go on, I want to talk about the fear of community and being part of something bigger. That fear that I also had. This fear, I know, came from the resentment that I held towards the people around me for not being able to show up for me the way that I needed when I was at my lowest, which forced me to heal in isolation. My lonely girls, my lonely peeps, put your hands up for me. Where are you? Where you at? Those people who spend day in, day out alone. You know, the word lonely is really sentimental to me, but I'm careful with I don't feel like it fits me anymore, you know? But I was lonely for all my life. It's just literally this year that I started working on, not this year, end of last year. I knew I wanted to enter 2023 letting go of my loneliness. I knew I didn't want to keep feeling so lonely. But it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. And having to heal from everything on my own, I had so much anger within me about that, because I was like, when I'm good, I don't want to hear nothing from any of those people. What's that saying? You were quiet when I was down. When you see me up, keep being quiet. Keep that same energy. Keep the same energy. Basically, that's what I was on. I was like, I don't want to hear nothing from no one about nothing. Like, if we were not friends during that time I was low, which was no one, I was like, I'm not carrying anyone into my next phase. When I start doing well, when I start doing the shit I need to do for myself, I don't want it to be around any of those people. That's what I told myself. I don't want it to be any of the same people. I want new people. That's what I said. So, but that came at the cost of, being completely isolated in my healing journey because of that anger. But at the same time, I wouldn't take that back. Ask me now. I wouldn't take that back. To take it back, would I have any of those people in my life? Would I have had them then or now? No. Because when I think of all the relationships that didn't work out, we were all faulty. And for me, I'm like, what the hell was I doing with those people? What was I doing with those people? Because we were all messy back then, eh? I'm not messy anymore. So, it just feels like those relationships needed to end for me to move on and create space for healthier things. Because it's the same people who think of you the same way and all that stuff. And I didn't want to carry that into my new life. So I don't regret that. And I don't take it back. But it was hard. It was really hard to have to heal on my own. So that made me resentful towards people. And I was like, why would I just... Like, I gained serious trust issues. I gained trust issues. Wow. So, yeah. And the trust issues were like, I don't trust the world. I don't trust people. The world and people are dangerous things. Those beliefs. I didn't believe those things before. I used to think the opposite. And then I went to the other extreme. But that's a trauma response. And I've understood that now. A while ago, actually. Actually, this year is when I've been healing all these things. Let me just say. This year, I'm really learning a lot about life and just happiness and being happy and what that takes. So I really didn't trust the world and people. I felt like there's nothing good the world and people can give to me. And I was really holding on to these beliefs because of how badly I was hurt by the world and people. It just felt like these worldly, materialistic things are just pointless. So I was living in a spirit realm for a very long time. Anyway, how I'm healing that is just knowing that I'm not holding on to those beliefs and sharing myself with the world and with people again, I'm not afraid of the world anymore. Like, what can this world do to me? We're all roaming on this earth like little ants on, the path over there. Everyone has to keep roaming though. We can't an ant can't decide that they are going to hide in the corner and not roam around looking for whatever they're looking for. I can't decide that. So it's wanting better for myself, really, wanting good for myself. I want good things. So what does it take for me to get those good things? I'm ready to do that. I'm leveling up. That's what's happening here. We are leveling up. We are doing what it needs, what it takes to be the people we want to be. I'm doing what it takes to be the person that I want to be. I don't want to let myself down. Future me, I got you. I got you, future me. Oh my God. I got you. I'm coming through. I won't let you down. I won't let you down, future me. I'm coming through. That's what this is about. So let's keep going. Which brings me to my fear of being needed and having responsibilities that are bigger than myself. This is a deep one that I'm still exploring, but my dear friend Emma asked me the other day, Janice, what do you think you can offer to people? And this question threw me into an existential dread. And it's because for the past few years, I've been just trying to avoid being needed by anyone outside of me. I was like, and that it was coming from the anger of I had to heal all on my own. No one has any right to want or need anything from me because I'm taking care of myself first, which is true. I am, but this also kind of plays into why I'm iffy about having kids. But that's not the end of the story. There's a part of me that still thinks that my child would just be the most wonderful person. Actually, I read it somewhere in my dream book today. I wrote, my child will be the most wonderful person in the world. I really do I still feel like that. So lastly, let me talk a bit about the fear of money. The thing is that I just felt like I don't understand money. You get me? This thing that some people are literally losing their lives over, while others are wasting it because they have too much of. It doesn't make sense that this thing is what runs life. I understand it running the world, and maybe that's what it was. No, it wasn't just intended for that. There's just so much depth. That scares me about everything in life. Life is full of depth. Everything is deep. It's not shallow ever. But I feel like I've never really understood money. Just why some people have lots of it and others have none. And then that's a matter of life and death. Literally. I've never understood it. I've not understood my fear of it either. I think it ties into the fear that I had of wanting good things for myself. I know how money can change my life. I've still been dependent on others, and I know it's time to change that. And I know that I can do that for myself. But yeah, I think it definitely ties into the fear of my own potential as well. I didn't really talk much about that. I didn't really say how I feel like I can do great things. And that scares me because it comes with responsibility. And that I've been trying to evade that responsibility for a very long time. But it's time. I'm still scared. But at this point, I know it would do me so much worse not to do anything to change my situation in life right now, rather than to put in the work that I know can change my situation in life right now. This person mowing the lawn right now, That freaking machine of his is so... I had to stop and wait for the guy mowing the lawn to finish. So now it's finished. I'm closing the video up now by saying, just looking around at my life right now, there's so much that has changed. I've grown so much. And I'm so grateful for where I am. I'm doing the things to set myself up, my future self up for great things. I'm taking care of my health. And I'm working on getting that bag. So this is actually like my road to 30. I have goals that I want to get to by the age of 30. And I really believe that I can. So subscribe, people. Thank you so much for watching this video up to the end. This growth is gonna happen for us, whether it likes it or not. Okay? Tunaomoka. We're leveling up, for real, for real. So yeah, join me on this journey, and thank you so much for watching up to the end. Bye.
Grind, you know I grind. When I pull up the jeans, you're mine. You're mine. When I pull up the scene, they can't wait to back it up. Your ex still a dope, but it ain't crack enough. I'm supplying my man, I'm in demand. Soon as I land, just know up there with the goons. In case you start acting familiar, this kind of love, big business. Old slab I kill for. Know the booty gon' do what it want to. Can't hit it one time, multiple. Now you see this racks on me. Now come and get high. Supplying my man.
So yeah, so it went from getting my mental health in check, working on my album, and then actually at some point, what am I talking about? This video has not flowed. Okay. Anyway, I'm not talking about the right things here. This has been hard to record this video.